Hey guys, Whitney here. Welcome to the Passive Investing Made Simple show. I'm your host, Whitney Elkins-Hutten, and this is a show that we do live every Tuesday to help you learn the various topics around passive investing, the ins and outs. We deep dive into certain areas. All of this to help you not only to understand, to learn, to grow that knowledge base, but to also to help you put this knowledge into action, because knowledge is just potential power. We actually need to take action on the knowledge that we gain. So before we get into today's topic, I just want to also invite you to passiveinvestingwithwhitney.com. There you can get access to future masterclass sessions. Check out our open deals, guys. We have a car wash fund, express car wash fund open right now. We are 91% filled as of this very day. So if you're interested in that, I'd love to hop on the phone with you. And at that website, passiveinvestingwithwhitney.com, you can also schedule time with me. All right, let's kick off today's show. I have a very special guest on, Travis Smith, CEO of Tribevest. Travis, I know we're both kind of running today, but welcome to the show.
Whitney, always such a pleasure. Nice to see you. Thank you for having me. And I just love this take action. You know, I think that's the most important thing of all when it comes down to it, isn't it? Taking action.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and that's, I think, for me, like I do a lot of education around financial literacy, and a lot of people know what they should be doing, but it's really when they get kind of distracted by all the things they could do, the shiny objects, that we have to kind of back up to principles, and then understand the strategies that align with those principles, those goals, and then get into the action. All right, before I can go down that rabbit hole all day long, Travis, but that's not why we're here. We're talking today about how to leverage group investing to essentially create diversification within your portfolio, maybe give people greater access to a variety of deals. But before we launch into Tribevest, what it is you do, what it is, why it's important to understand it, and how you do that, let's give the audience a little bit of breakdown on who you are and how you got into the space.
Thank you, Whitney. Again, Travis Smith, and founder and CEO of Tribevest. My professional background is, qualifies me, I guess, to be uniquely positioned to building Tribevest. And what we built is the collaborative banking platform of the private investing or the private equity world. So anybody can come on to our platform, build their tribe, pull capital together so that they can participate more freely in private equity and private assets and private investing. And so my background is I started with Morgan Stanley, was trained in New York City, ended up leaving there, going to a software company, and really had been in fintech, startup world, software, enterprise software throughout my career. Most recently, before leaving before starting Tribevest, I was with a fintech, multi-billion-dollar fintech called Jack Henry and Associates, that 3,000 banks run on their core software. And I headed up their strategic alliances in the enterprise payment space. So you can start to see a little bit of my background, being a financial advisor, being at Wall Street, taking that to the fintech technology space, and then being able to connect the dots when it came to activating that collaborative banking layer of the private investing world.
Well, I love that you have the financial background, because I think that at least for me, I will speak from my background, my vantage point only. We see a lot of people that are getting into the tech space that are trying to solve a financial issue, and maybe they don't have that expert knowledge themselves of what the actual challenges are, the investors. And we've seen it happen where the tech platform kind of stumbles in solving that issue. And so I love Tribevest. I love everything what you guys are trying to do and help solve for investors. So let's start there. What exactly is Tribevest? Like, how does this solve a problem for a potential investor?
Yeah, I think, and just to add to what you said was, my background is useful to what we're building. But really, when it came time to build the platform, it came down to building something that solved a major problem for me and my investor network and my investor tribe. And so, I actually have to go back 15 years ago. And if you do the math, that was, the Great Recession. And it reminds me of a lot of the times now, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of we know what's going on. And it turned out to be a great time to get into real estate and group investing, thank goodness. And but we would have never gotten into real estate. We would have never gotten into private investing if it wasn't for us coming together. And I say us, it's me and my three brothers. So the four of us came together, harnessed the power of the network, pulled our capital together, of course, started an LLC, governed by an operating agreement, opened up a business bank account, pulled that capital, and did our first deal. We did our first deal. And as you know, just doing that first deal is such a big deal. And then one investment led to another. And we can honestly say by, doing this, we unlocked a future that none of us could have achieved on our own. And that's when we set out to build the platform we wished we had. And to answer your question, so what does Tribevest do? Well, we do that. We make it so easy. When my brothers and I were figuring this out, did we need an attorney? Did we need an operating agreement? What type of attorney? How do we get your partners, your members to come into this? What about opening up a business bank account? Do we all need to be there to sign for the bank account? It just kind of keeps going and going. And thank goodness we're stubborn and persisted. But for most people, most sane people, that's more than enough to say, this is a good idea. I understand the power of the tribe, but this is a lot, right? And so we solved that problem and built a platform where you can come in, log in. We're integrated with the 50 Secretary of States out there. File your LLC, configure your operating agreement, make it super easy to onboard your members, open up that FDIC insured business bank account the moment that your LLC comes back from the state, and giving you a transparent dashboard for you to manage your communications, your operations, your documents, your bank accounts, your portfolio, all in one place.
Mm-hmm. And, I love it because when I work with investors, for us, like our minimums are relatively normal minimums, maybe like $100,000 and above. But I certainly can, testify that, some of the investments I'm looking at, the minimum might be 250 or 500 or $1 million. And, not everybody, most of the people in this webinar don't have that kind of cash like in their banking account. So how do you pull that together? Like if you wanted access to a deal, $250,000 just to get the next bump in terms, that's where I see the power of Tribevest really coming in, is because you can gather 5 other people that are like-minded like you, and you guys could pull your capital together into an LLC, into a business to go into that deal. So in any fraction, right? That for me, that's my why of why I really think this is, a tool that everybody should, be aware of, that exists, and they have it in their back pocket. But what are some other whys that people should have whenever they're looking at this? Before we get into the how, but what are some other whys, other use cases?
Yeah, I mean, I love that one, right? I think about, how many deals would I have been in without my tribe? And maybe I don't even get into any, right? So that's first off, if I never kind of got over that hump. But, even if I did, could I participate in one deal a year? Maybe, depending on what that threshold is. And, if you're not active investing, time's passing you by, the market's changed, all those things. So, to your point, to being in a tribe, to be able to invest in a deal or multiple deals every quarter, to not have to say no to good deals because you're lacking capital, is super powerful and a great way to diversify. Really, in new sponsors, new asset classes. I know you have a super exciting car wash deal going on right now. If you've never done a car wash deal, it's hard to write that 100K check or whatever the minimum is. And so to be like, yeah, let's get into a new asset class and let's do it together is, another kind of, aha and opportunity investing with your tribe. The other one that I'm really excited about, so there's all sorts of kind of these whys there. The other one that I'm really excited about is, you have a lot of people in your network that have, put the time in to become a good investor, build relationships with, communities like yours, doing the due diligence with different deals and different sponsors. And what we're really excited about is in January, we launched what's called as our Tribevest Pro. And the way I like to think of this is it's services that make it super easy to go from a limited partner to a super limited partner. And let me explain.
We need to know what the base Tribevest is first to build on this, or no?
Well, sure. The base, well, what's cool about this new service is it's leveraging all of our existing tools. We have a very robust platform. If you think about it, we built it out for the entire private equity, private investing space. So we have people that are angel investors in startups. We have people that are active investor real estate. We have passive investors into real estate syndication. We have people that are investing in cars together, horses, art, and everything. So we built out this very broad platform. And really, when you think about this Tribevest Pro, we've really focused in on investing in real estate syndication. And I know that's particularly a fit for your audience, and in a great market for us because it's such a ready fit. But the idea there is, hey, I'm already investing 100K, right, into a deal. Does the sponsor offer preferred terms if I come in at a bigger check? And sometimes there's those deals and sometimes there's not. But if there is, instead of just writing the 100K check, why don't I come together with my network of people that are out there looking for similar deals? We look at the deal, we like the deal, we community the deal together, and then we form a Tribevest Pro tribe, put all of our capital in, so we can now come in at $500,000 and potentially get those better, and we all enjoy the better terms. So I love that application, and particularly relevant to what we're working on right now at Tribevest.
And then, there's definitely a space here to utilize that Tribevest Pro. It sounds like, with passiveinvesting.com, for example, on one of our last multifamily deals, there was a preferred tier if an investor could write a 250K check or larger. And so I think there were a couple of people that actually pulled together into an LLC. I don't know if they actually used a Tribevest, but that would have been super simple if they did. Pulled together in order to get that preferred tier, that bonus back end.
And I love that, because First of all, if you're Tribevesting, you don't have to be using Tribevest. You just have to recognize the power of your most valuable resource, your most valuable asset, your relationships, your network. And so whether you're doing it on the Tribevest platform or off the Tribevest platform, we're just out there kind of talking about all those benefits. Of course, we think we make it no brainer and super easy. But whatever it looks like, Tribevesting is an incredible tool. And I think going back to kind of how you open things up, Whitney, with, hey, there's a lot of shiny objects out there, and it comes back to principles and approach and strategy. And not that you want to do every deal with your tribe, but know that is a discipline and a approach, which is very tried and proven long before Tribevest came along. We've just made it way easier.
Mm-hmm. So some of the benefits, what I hear you say is like access to investments, maybe, hitting that minimum tier with a group of people. Maybe your goal is greater diversification. You want to try out a new operator, try out a new asset class. Maybe you just, you don't have the large check laying around, but a smaller check, or you want to break up your check. Maybe you do have the large check hanging around and you want to break it up in smaller increments. Or, you want to kind of leverage your network, pull it together and obtain that larger operator split, whatever it is, preferred term. So how does somebody
That's exactly right. Yep.
How does somebody get started with a tribe? Like, how does this all work?
Yeah, great question. We made it real easy. So you come to tribevest.com and you fill out your charter, which is, what's the name of your tribe? What's your mission? What's your goal? How many members? What are you investing in? How much capital do you want your members to bring in terms of the capital contribution? So really working out your charter, and you can share that out with your network to say, hey, is this something you want to do before you get started? And then you can start your tribe officially. And it's $348 a year for our platform. And that includes the dashboard. It includes onboarding, your member onboarding. It includes the bank account. It includes the dashboard, which has all your document management. It has a place to manage all your operations, including proposing motions and voting and keeping those records. So, everything you need to operate. And you think about what's the magic of Tribevest? Well, it's making everything easy, but it's also that transparency. So having that one dashboard where everybody's held accountable and it eliminates the mystery, right? I think how we get in trouble with really good people that we're partnered with is the mystery. Like, I haven't heard from anybody in a while. I don't know what's going on, And what's so nice about Tribevest, you just log in and there's everything, all the records of all transactions, any communications, all right there. So that's the cost to get to kind of have Tribevest. And then depending on, file your LLC in Ohio, that's $100. It's a pass-through expense for us. And then we can help you with all sorts of things. We can help you with a registered agent. We can help you with annual state filing. We can help you with your K-1 taxes. That's another really cool thing, right? Is, Whitney, when your investors are working with you, you send them a distribution check, right? Cash flow. And when it's a tribe, that one check comes in, that one distribution. And then Tribevest makes it so easy to distribute that out to your members, the tribe members. Same thing with the K-1. The tribe, the entity is one investor. So the sponsor sends one K-1 and Tribevest helps you distribute multiple K-1s to each member based on that K-1. So anyway, just kind of showing how this all works.
Well, again, you building off of your own previous experience to solve these problems, right? Because I've pitched several times to family and friends, like, hey, you want to go in this asset together? And they're like, oh, sounds great. And then you're like, okay, let's start pulling the capital. And they're like, oh, wait, hold on, time out. Like, how are we going to handle this? And you're like, it sounds like you got an all-in-one package here.
Yeah, how nice is it to follow up that conversation with, and there's an app that helps us with all this.
Exactly.
It's really, people have always known it's a good practice to be able to do this, but how you do it has always been a real challenge. And unless you've had a country club network with advisors and attorneys at the ready, and all this kind of in your natural network, it's hard. And even if you do have that, that's still expensive. And then with Tribevest, of course, you can kind of think of it as your own, country club network that helps you bring it all together.
It's funny that you say that, because one of my family members that I would love, to partner with endlessly would be my uncle, and he is a lawyer, but he also just learned how to text on a cell phone about a year ago. So we got a little bit of ways to go there.
That's right. No, but those are good people to have in the family for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So I want to wrap this up a little bit. That way we can open up to the Q&A for the people who are here live. What's one of the biggest takeaways that you want listeners to get from today's episode?
Maybe I'll just go back to kind of one of the things you opened with is take action. Tribevest represents this ability to take action. And I think about the community, right? And I have kind of a philosophy that I've developed actually with our friend Jim Pfeiffer, who but there's conventional personal finance, there's alternative personal finance, which is being able to invest in private assets, and then there's community personal finance, and this idea of leveraging the community like the one you've built here to learn, grow, leverage, find deals, talk about deals. That's like community personal finance. And then what Tribevest represents is the infrastructure for you to take action, And we're not saying, hey, you have to form a tribe, but when you come together with your community, take action together. That doesn't mean you have to formalize an entity to take action, but together, find the motivation and confidence to take action either individually or now with Tribevest, do it together as a group. So my takeaway that I'd like everybody to have is, you're empowered now. You're empowered and to group invest like you've never been empowered before.
Awesome. Well, Travis, always so wonderful to have you on. If people want to reach out to you and find out more about you and about Tribevest, how can they do so?
Absolutely. You can find us at tribevest.com. A great place to follow me is LinkedIn. And if you just let me know that you heard or saw me on passiveinvesting.com with Whitney here, I would love to connect with you. But that's probably where I'm most active is LinkedIn. And then, of course, you can come find us at tribevest.com, and you can put a question into the chat, and we would love to answer any and all your questions.
Awesome. Well, Travis, again, thank you so much for your time here today. Don't go anywhere. And you guys that are joining here live, you don't go anywhere either. We are about to start our Ask Me Anything session.